We're live. Okay, YouTube, it's your man Justin. I'm back. I figure I can actually keep the NBA daily stuff up, hopefully throughout the summer whenever I can. As I said, I'll backlog videos, but I want to start taking this fairly seriously. I've been missing for a while. I know I had the big debut video. Simply didn't work. Busy with university and all that sort of stuff, so hopefully we can get on top of that over the summer. And yeah, hopefully to bring you some more NBA coverage. You love my ball. You guys will know it. Again, you can follow me on Twitter, Justin_G_Bryan. For those of you that followed me through the Blitz team, blitzsportsnetwork.com, cheap plug there. But I'm usually over there once every few weeks talking a bit of ball, a bit of wrestling, all that sort of stuff, but entertainment, just general guy stuff. Yeah, my Twitter's a free-for-all usually, but I try to focus fairly on basketball. And with the opening of the NBA season, I figure I'd start and let's get right into it. My NBA player of the day, as titled, is LeBron James. LeBron against the Cavs had 29 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists, no steals, but 2 blocks. Not bad, 2 blocks. Typical chase down from LeBron, pretty decent help defense block there as well. Shot 63.2% from the field overall, only 20% from deep. So typical LeBron getting to the cup, doing what he needs to do. 100% from the free throw line. Hopefully you can continue there. Not much data to work with there. Obviously, with the free throws, only had the 4 free throw attempts. Had 4 turnovers. Kind of kills his assists a little bit. Probably narrows that down to probably a true 5 assists when you work out the turnovers. Obviously, don't all lead to a score, but a good pass does. Basically, it's ineffective once you get a turnover. I know one of those turnovers led to a block, so you could say maybe knocks it down to 6 assists. But still, he had 3 personal fouls and played just over 41 minutes. Throughout the game, he was defended by, who's who of the Boston side. Not that there's anyone left now. And I'll touch on the obvious of this game at the very end of it. I have a very differing opinion, as most of you will gather on my Twitter. But I mean, he was defended by Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Ojale, I believe that's how you pronounce it, one of their new pickups. Aaron Baines, again. Brown guarded him a lot, and I give Brown a lot of credit. He played a tremendous game on him for a young blood, essentially. He defended him really well. He's obviously watched a lot of LeBron, knows what he's doing. At one point, he was posting up on Shane Larkin. I don't know what he was hoping to achieve there. Both LeBron and Shane Larkin, LeBron could have bullied him. Larkin's only about 5'10", 5'11", even shorter than me. About my size, fairly stocky. For 5'11", I think he's about 175, 180 pounds. It doesn't seem like much, but when you compare it to LeBron, who's 6'7", 6'8", and anywhere around 250, it's a bit of a difference. Aaron Baines had some defense there, and I think Horford got him once or twice. So generally a big mix, but really when their best defender was Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder, and neither of them are playing in this game. I mean, again, we'll touch on Gordon Hayward later, but he's not really a great defender. Jay Crowder being the biggest problem that he'd faced in Boston's now on his team. So again, can't beat him, join him, just drag him off the side. That's how it happens. LeBron's defensive efforts, though, 50-50. We all know LeBron's lacked defensively in the past few years, and I mean, it's no shock here. He was there defending Tatum a fair bit, Brown a little bit. Rozier, the rookie, again, would have been pretty hard to guard a rookie after 15 years in the league. Would have been really hard. Marcus Smart and Brown, obviously, as I said, mainly Brown, they had a pretty decent head-to-head matchup, and I really give Brown a lot of credit, even though LeBron had a pretty decent night. But we'll go through the game log as I saw it. His first assist came on a fast break, nothing too spectacular. Believe it was a 2-on-1. The pass was to Derrick Rose. Rose finished easy at the cup. One of his, rebounding's been a big question. Players like Kawhi Leonard often get criticised for only 3 to 4 rebounds a game, yet you'll find them boxing out. I mean, this is no exception here. LeBron grabbed a rebound that was clearly Tristan Thompson's. You can go back and look at it. Anywhere from, I believe it was early in the first quarter. But it was a rebound that should have been Tristan Thompson's. There was no box out. It was, clearly Tristan Thompson's. No one in the world except LeBron to get it. So he essentially stole that rebound. Again, you've got to look at these things when you're analysing someone's game. If they're hustling for 30 rebounds, okay, it's like Russell Westbrook. He had averaged over 10 rebounds last year, but was he really boxing out and grabbing those rebounds? It's a question you need to answer. He comes down the court and nails a pump fake. Two, a foot was on the line. It was a late contest. It was a reasonably open shot for LeBron. In fact, I'm really not sure why he pumped fake. He had more distance before the fake, but nonetheless made the long, deep two. So, his perimeter shooting might improve. Who knows? He goes anywhere between 5 and 10 feet to the cup usually. Come down the floor and had a 2-on-1 drive defended by Tatum and Smart. However, he wasn't pressed hard. All he had to do was simply go around them at the rim. There was no solid rim protection. I mean, these guys aren't really going to be able to stop LeBron at this point in their career. And he made quite easy work of that. No hard defense. It wasn't 2-on-1, but it wasn't a true 2-on-1. He grabbed a contested rebound there as we head further into the game, which was quite a shock there. It's very rare LeBron will get a contested rebound, or any sort of superstar gets a contested rebound, but that's how it is. Hit J.R. Smith for an open shot. That was quite impressive. LeBron's always able to find the open man. We'll find that later in the game with a clutch play to Kevin Love. But, yeah, hitting J.R. Smith for the open shot, who then had enough time to dribble and shoot. I mean, it tells you how open he was. He then further had a fast break pass to Tristan Thompson for an assist. Again, you get in the fast break. It's not very hard to hit assists. I mean, Magic Johnson was the king of it, but the ease he did it with, with the court vision. LeBron's got good court vision. He was obviously able to make that pass. He hit an open 2-point off a pick and roll. Again, defended by the likes of Bryan and whatnot throughout this series, so you can see why he was able to get that here. Again, Tatum and Smart with a 2-on-1 at the rim, so again, hard to defend, but I wasn't able to pick up who the pick and roll here was. I believe he was pretty open, no defense really made. He had a 2-point from Elite D fast break. Again, he pretty much made a really poor contested effort there to a shot. And rather than box out his opponent, he just kept running up the floor, gained the ball, scored. I mean, it's not hard to do that. He does that quite a lot these days, LeBron. It's nothing exuberant. He's lost a lot of power, so it's not as you would say, explosive as it used to be. We then get an assist to Jay Crowder, which was pretty good. There was a late contest on the Jay Crowder 3, but nonetheless, he was open. It was a good shot. Nothing too spectacular, but a good shot nonetheless. We come further down, and LeBron was actually forced to play some hard offense. He was D'd up well by Ojale. Again, I mispronounce the name. I will get to that eventually. But yeah, it was a really solid D. LeBron tried to get between, that 5-10 feet. I mean, even close to the basket, and he was having none of it, Ojale. So he stood there and he bodied him really well. LeBron had to force up a shot, which went in. All credit there to the defender. LeBron put up a pretty lucky shot. Another assist to Crowder, who was open under the basket. Again, LeBron's got great vision, but nonetheless, you've got to look at how well these guys get open. I think that's key when you assess someone's passing efforts in how they find the open man. Is the man open or wide? Does he make a good pass, or is the pass just we found a guy who was cutting really well. Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson were very good at it. If you go back and watch some old Celtics. As we move along, he had an open J on the baseline for Baines. Again, Aaron Baines is not guarding LeBron James. LeBron doesn't have great handles, but Aaron Baines isn't very quick. He doesn't have the quicks and the defensive prowess to guard LeBron. LeBron hit a crossover, step back. There's plenty of space. It was pretty much an uncontested J. He grabbed a rebound in a 3-on-1 contest there for the Cavs. Anyone could have had that. LeBron came away with it. No major rebound there. He had a 2-point, a nice spin move here, which was a pretty cool 2-point shot. Span off Marcus Smart. Come down the lane. Again, 3-on-2 to the Cavs, so it wasn't too hard. It was obviously had to guard the ball, so if LeBron comes down, goes one way and just flicks the pass to the baseline, it's an open dunk. But he come down and he showed Marcus Smart why he is still LeBron, and that was pretty cool to watch. So I'll give him props there. He had an assist pass, which was dumped down to Kevin Love. It's funny though, a lot of these Celtics players gave him a lot of open jump shots, and you'll notice that if you go and look at the replay, even on a highlight tape of the game, or just in general the whole game, you'll notice Boston give him plenty of space to shoot, and it's something that I believe the Spurs opened up in 2013 when the Heat barely scraped over the line in 7 games. They forced LeBron to the outside shot. He can't shoot it. Mid-range is a terrible form for LeBron. Lucky he's improved on his three-point shooting because the exposure that he receives, particularly in a game like this, if you really look at it, from the likes of Tatum, Brown, Smart, they let him shoot while he's open from distance. He's not a great jump shooter. If he's not between 2 and 10 feet from the cup, there isn't much worry for LeBron James at this point. If he's worked on his mid-range game in the summer, okay, so you probably do need to worry there. But again, he can't score from the stripe. So if you foul him and he's not making free throws, he's a 65-70% free throw shooter at best at times. So there's really no worry there. But again, the dump pass there, and LeBron was only 17 feet away against who was it here? I say again, Marcus Smart. Really, I believe that's a basket he should be able to make, but he's not doing it. 15, 16 years in the league and you're still not being able to do it. Has to be a question asked there. He made another assist there, and now this is the point where he was posting up on Larkin, again, 5'11", 6'8", and LeBron's just bodying him down. He could have gone right to the cup here again. This is this instinct we need from LeBron. You get a matchup like that, you take the most of it. He simply passed off. I mean, the cup was there, and it was a smart pass to make, but that was stat padding at its best. Considering there are other plays here where LeBron's basically a 2-on-1 and gets into the post and looks really good, that's fine. But this was a point where he should have overpowered. Again, the criticism could come that, oh, well, he should do that. Oh, wow, that wouldn't look too good. Well, these are the situations where you need to. I mean, he's not called the GOAT by some for nothing. That's a position there where I believe he has to go low in the post and has to go hard. Had a 2-pointer there on a triple threat. Again, this is another example. He was wide. He was out in the 45 on the wing, a triple threat position on Brown, and then proceeded to dribble in and post up. Really forced the post up and scored. It was quite impressive to look at. But again, as I was saying, forcing from a triple threat and a jump shooting position to the point where he's not shooting. Why aren't you shooting those open shots? Simple, because he can't make them. And that's why he was forced to dribble in. Again, high percentage shot, but if you're being left open for a jumper and you're the great LeBron James, you should be making those shots. It's simple. As we continue on here, he got a good rebound here, which wasn't too bad. But, grabbed a rebound here. He was open on the top. Again, as I mentioned, Brown was a major defensive assignment here for LeBron on a lot of his points. And even though it looks bad that he scored a lot of points, you have to give the kid a hell of a lot of credit. He was defending him pretty well, like most people defend LeBron at the moment. He doesn't like physicality. That's obvious. I pointed that out earlier. He has to force up a shot or hope for a foul. And if you dare the guy to shoot, he's got to go low or he's got to go right out for him to score. And it's just how it is. Unless LeBron's wide open on a jumper, you can test a jump shot of LeBron. It's rare to go in. Pretty decent defense. Again. And so the rebound, he dribbled past the screen. Brown got screened, so he drew around him pretty easy. And then he reached low on the basket. And Aaron Baines steps out. He missed the contested shot. He managed, again, he grabbed the rebound, went hard for Duncan. Baines fouled him. He made the 2 free throws there. We come down the court a little bit later, and there's a terrible pass to Crozier. I think I missed a block in here, by the way. There was a block here where I believe it was early on. Yeah, it was early on Tatum in the first quarter. It was one of his very first. But he did have a block early. It was in the first 2 minutes. It was a weak side help. It was his man. He leaked off a bit, and lucky he was able to recover. Otherwise, it would look pretty bad. But this one was a bit different. He's thrown the pass, and Crozier's just simply cut off the passing lane. It was a terrible pass by LeBron. But to LeBron's credit, he followed him up with a chase down. It was a typical LeBron chase down. There's plenty of Rajon Rondo footage out there, but this, again, poor kid just got caught in it, and Rozier got chased down. But again, he chased up his own turnover. Still have to give him a little bit of credit there, but nonetheless, did turn it over. He had a nice 2-point spin dunk here, which it wasn't a dunk. I don't know whether it was. Can't remember if it was dunk or whether it was just a nice spin through. But again, he spun off Brown in the open court. He come down, spun off him, and Marcus Smart, who was just standing there, it would have been a legal block. He scored over the top of him, which is quite impressive. So he had a couple of impressive moves here. Another 3-point shot, which was dead open, as I've mentioned. You leave LeBron wide open, he'll score. You half contest the shot, he goes to water. It's been proven. He had a 2-point backdoor cut for an alley-oop dunk. Brown got screened. Brown went over the screen. He hustled hard in this game. You need to go back and watch. He had hustled hard to get back to it, but he really had no assistance towards the cut. They let LeBron go straight through the back corridor, and there's not much Brown can do from there. Now, there was the point in the game where it was, I think it was 98-97. I believe it was about that, or 96-97, and LeBron come down the court and pulled a great flashy move, fakes Brown in the air. Brown flows sky high, and LeBron somehow pivots a couple of steps and scores the basket, and obviously Quick and Lowens went off. But if you go back, that was clearly a travel. Brown obviously jumped at the fake, but at the same time, he would have been in the mindset, in my opinion, that, well, he's taking his steps. Again, unfortunately, Brown will learn that he's the king. He can do whatever he wants. But it was a clear travel by LeBron. I believe there was nothing wrong with the fake. He was faked out of his shoes, don't get any doubt about that, but I think it was the correct move defensively, and there wasn't much more that he could do there. And he had one more assist. It was 2-on-1 down in the post from Brown and Horford. There wasn't much to do there, which was pretty hard. He was double teamed down on the block. He's turned out and seen Kevin Love on the opposite wing open for three, and he hit him straight up, and that's when he's knocked down the shot, Kevin Love, and that's ended the game and kept it at 99-102. LeBron got one of the last rebounds for the Cavs over Horford, and I mean, as we know, Kyrie missed that game-winning shot. But again, as I said, I gave LeBron my player of the game and my player of the day. My only other contender was James Harden, but I don't think Harden had the impact. Just to give you an idea of how I'm calculating my player of the game, all positive impact that the player has. So their points, their rebounds, their assists, their steals, their blocks, field goals made, three-pointers made, free throws made, all that sort of stuff. If they've got a positive plus-minus over the team overall, then, yeah, I recommend that into their player of the game. However I do it is their percentage of the impact. So if a player has, say there's 100 points and the player scores, say, 30 of them, well, they've scored 30% of the team's points. So it's 30% of that. And then, for instance, if there's 45 rebounds to a team and a player grabs 15 of them, then they'll get 15% of the rebounds and so forth. The negatives, fouls, turnovers, missed shots, all that sort of stuff, and that's taken off the percentages. So you could have a really high percentage of, you could have a real high number there, say 350, and that looks really good. So by the time you take the negatives on, it goes down to, say, maybe 210 or something like that. So I decimal place that, and it's the overall impact for me that they have on the game. So today, LeBron had an impact for me of 23.8. So the win contributed. He was a quarter of the reason that the Cavs won that game. I mean, overall, his impact, yeah, it's a hell of a lot greater. But if you're going to break down win shares and the way the team played, he's responsible for about 23.8%, in my opinion, of that win. And that's how I'm grading it. I'm not bringing things like field goal percentage into it, again, as I mentioned. So for me, it would have been, I'll quickly bring up the box score. It's just a simple way that I found to do it. I mean, everyone's got their own way they do it. Yeah, this is my formula. It will save me, obviously, from doing a 3-2-1 vote like I did last year, where I did a 3-2-1 on every game. At least if I go through and take the best player from the winning side, they contributed to the win, so therefore they're obviously more important. Just in my opinion, it helps to build their win shares, and generally the guy who finishes, I think it's rare that someone who hasn't finished in the top 5 in win shares hasn't won the MVP since 2000, really. So again, as I go to it and just have a look, I'll show you what I mean. So you can write this down, follow along with me if you need to, just to get a rough idea. Again, leave a comment about how you feel my grading system works. It is flawed to an extent, however, it's just trial and error. Again, we'll see how it goes this season. If it doesn't work, I'll have a look at something else. So, for example, we've got LeBron, who would have, 29 divided by 102, whatever the percentage of that is, a positive percentage. Overall, the plus-minus for the team was 2 and 7's 9 and 1's 10. I take 7's 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 7's 12, 6 is 18, Take 2 is 16, take 1 is 15. So that's the overall plus minus of all players combined. The team's plus minus obviously was 3. That's what they won by. But the overall impact the team had was a 15-point overall plus minus. So LeBron would be 2 divided by 15, whatever the percentage is, and that's another positive that goes in. Again, if you have a negative, if you might be the best player in the game and have a negative, well, that becomes a negative. We take that off. So, for an example, Derrick Rose had -7. Well, -7 divided by 15. Work out what the percentage of it is. There you go. That's just how that works. And then, for example, LeBron made 12 field goals, or 12 or 38. That's just under 33%, or thereabouts, between 33%. Well, that's how many field goals, the percentage of field goals he made for the team. So he'd be plus, say, 30% on that. And that's how I work it. Again, turnovers, he had 4 of the team's 17 turnovers. So that's just under 25%. I believe it's 23.5 around there. So it'd be minus 23.5% on that one there. And that's just basically how I'm gauging it on the impact. If you do something positive, i.e. you score points, you grab rebounds, you dish assists, make steals and blocks, again, offensive and defensive rebounds come into it as well. So your percentage of the offensive rebounds and the defensive rebounds. Again, you make shots, you make threes, you make field goals. Not free throws, threes, field goals. They're positives. If you miss them, then I'll take a percentage off as well. I'm not going to include your minutes because I don't think minutes really matter. I mean, you could have a guy like LeBron played 41 minutes tonight. And has those sort of numbers. I don't think James Harden was close to a 41-minute night, yet he had arguably the best game for the Rockets. So, again, how do you quantify it? This is just a way I'm doing it, and we'll see how we go. But, again, just recapping my player of the day for October 17th, opening night, shall we say, is LeBron James. So, with a score of .238, of a possible 1. As for what his percentage of the win was, in my opinion, 29 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists, no steals, and 2 blocks. Shot over 60% from the field, only 20% from deep, perfect from the stripe with 4 turnovers, 3 fouls in 41 minutes of play. Was defended by multiple people. Defensively, he took it up to a few different people, but nothing too special. Again, him and Bryan were the main matchup in this game, if you ask me. But the big story coming out of it, other than Kyrie, I mean, Kyrie's first game against Cleveland, I don't think anyone's too fazed about that. That was, he had 22 and 10, another Kyrie game where he had to stand up, did his thing. I mean, shout out to Cleveland, who only just got the job done by 3 points. But the obvious elephant in the room, so to speak, is Gordon Hayward's broken leg. Diagnosed with a fracture not long after he'd done it, played only 5 minutes, shot 50% from the field for his 2 points, and had a rebound with a +3 effect on the team. So in 5 minutes, he'd done a little bit. It wasn't too bad. Sort of hard to do much after that sort of an injury. But I think the elephant in the room is the perception that we have at the moment, which is the prey for Hayward going around at the moment. I'm personally not a religious person, never have been, never will be, until something drastic happens, obviously, or I feel that need. But I do feel that a guy that has just signed a max contract and is available for the best medical in the world probably isn't necessarily needing a prayer. I believe he's in good hands and that everything's fine. I think it'd be a hell of a lot different if you had someone that was, working 10 to 12 hours a day, spending their last dollar just to feed their family, and then, say, in a motor vehicle accident at the end of the week, on the way home, they crash, they break their leg, they can't afford medical. Yeah, that's probably when you need to pray and hope that this person's all right. But a guy who's on a max contract with the best medical in the world, the best support staff, really, even the celebrity side of it, just really, he's got enough money to support his family for 3 more generations. Again, has the best medical in the world, has the best support in the world. Yeah, it sucks he broke his leg. I hope he comes back. Same with Paul George. It sucked that they broke their leg. In fact, Paul George was worrying because it looked like his career was over. I mean, Gordon Hayward isn't great, but it looked like a bit more of a dislocation on the ankle as well, which may be the only thing that saves him. Obviously, a fracture's not great. But at the end of the day, I really do feel, personally, that he's going to be fine. He's in the best hands possible. I might be the sour grape in the room and, but we care, we're human. We really want to. Well, obviously, everyone wants him to be fine. There's not anyone out there going, I hope he dies. Or, I hope his leg's permanently broken. Or, I hope he can't play again. That means you're an asshole. I'm just being real about it. Let's be honest. Sign a max contract. He's got the best medical in the world. He's in the best hands possible. So pray for Hayward. Do what you feel is necessary. But no, I really don't see it. He's fine, really. It's no big deal. He's not being oppressed. He's not being held back. I mean, it's sad, but I mean, he's in the best hands possible. He can deal with it. He's not capable of not dealing with it. That's just me. Again, probably an unpopular take, but he's got the best medical in the world. He's got the best support team around him. He's got the best staff around him, his family and teammates. And for him, yeah, it really sucks. And for the fans of Boston who wanted to see him break out, then yeah, it really sucks. But at the end of the day, he's in the best treatment possible. It's nothing you can stress about. You just got to let it do. So again, shout out to Gordon Hayward. Hope you get better. But I think some people just need to be a little bit more realistic. He's going to be fine. He's a hell of a lot better off than most of us. A hell of a lot better off. So we'll see how that pans out. Again, as we mentioned, Kyrie coming back against the Cavs, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, only 2 turnovers, which was pretty impressive. Had a pretty decent shooting night for Kyrie, 47% from the field, 44% from deep, and 100 from the stripe. Only other 2 free throws, but still. Had a good night for them, was probably Boston's best player, along with Jaylen Brown, who had a great game as well. As I mentioned, he was guarding LeBron for most of it and nearly had LeBron's number, 11 for 23 shooting, 2 for 9 from deep, 1 for 2 from the stripe for 25 points, 6 rebounds and 2 steals, a few turnovers with no assists. So that sort of hurts a bit, particularly when you look at the fact that the team only lost by 3. I mean, who knows what happens there. But, yeah, a couple of breakout games there. And as I mentioned, LeBron, my player of the game, the head-to-head matchup there with Jaylen Brown was quite impressive. They made him work for his points. They made him have to go low because they weren't LeBron doesn't shoot. So, again, that's just how it works. Anyway, guys, that'll do for me. Again, player of the day, LeBron James, on opening night versus Boston at 29 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. Hit me up on Twitter, Justin_G_Bryan. Hit that follow button there. Hit the subscribe button here. Leave a comment. Let me know who you feel was the best player on opening night. Thoughts on the Gordon Hayward situation, the pray for Hayward situation. How you feel Kyrie will go carrying the Celtics this year should be interesting. And how you feel LeBron's going to go. I mean, I feel he showed a fair bit of aging in this game, especially with the young side who defended him reasonably well when you look at the aspect of him not being able to shoot and having to force him to go low and even hesitating at times to post up on smaller and younger players. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Again, let me know whether you feel anyone from the Warriors. Houston game was player of the game. No, I'm just kidding. That game was fucking awful. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, that's it for me, guys. I'll hear from you guys soon and let you know who my player of the day is for what will be October 18th, 2017, on day 2 of the NBA season. See ya.